we got the astrology now. Let's get into it. Like I said, we got a lot of things. Eclipse season. We are officially starting eclipse season this week. Taurus season. We are moving on from Aries, moving into Taurus. And we have our first retrograde of 2023 that starts in 2023. So we had one at the beginning of January, but that actually started in December, went through January. So this is our first retrograde of 2023. And those are our key focuses today. But I have to ask, since I know we've got some people up in the chat, how are we feeling? Big question mark. If you are here with me live, drop how you're feeling in the chat. What's going on? Leave a comment if you are on the replay. What truly has been this experience for you been like since the beginning of April? And we'll even go back a little bit into March with the first Aries new moon, but it really, like, this eclipse to me has really been building since the new moon in Aries. Period. The first one that we had. It has been like this slow build up, layer on top of layer on top of layer, to where right now it feels like we're on the 18th layer of a cake, right? We're no longer a 7-layer cake. We have tripled that. We've doubled that. We are exponentially growing this cake, and things just keep getting layered on. And for me, this is in my 10th house, and 10th house is all about achievements, aspirations, social status, vocation, how we are managing bringing our gifts into the world and our purpose. It's really an interesting, I love the 10th house because it's this beautiful house that blends all about me, but also all about how you bring yourself forward in the world. So it's really a house about how do I manifest the highest version of myself in order to support the collective and the community that we have here on Earth, as we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So what that really looked like for me, and how this is, all of these layers are adding on for me, is a lot of this last week has been getting incredibly clear on my why, incredibly clear on habitual sages, that why. That is very influenced by Taurus, where you still have the North Node, Uranus, which Uranus kind of came in and shook it up a little bit, and then Venus when she was there. So having that really deep sense of clarity about your vision and purpose and your why. This whole weekend was creating business plans, studying. I have Jupiter in his rulership in Sag. So for me, like study is it. I love doing that. I love getting into classes. I love doing practical application. And that's really was kind of part of that 1K YouTube challenge by Think Media. So there's been this really big feeling for me of opening up. There's been a lot of acceptance. There's been a lot of like moving to the next level, but in a very different way than I've ever felt before. A lot of this is around the like sincere ownership of my life and the actions that I'm taking towards creating the life of my highest path and purpose. So that's really just to kind of, if you're wondering like, okay, I've been feeling some things, but I'm not really sure. That's how you can utilize your natal chart, where this is applying in your natal chart, get a little more clarity on where these themes may be coming up, and then help you to correlate some of this information a little bit more. And thank you. Can we give a hand clap for Mercury? Mercury already just in his shadow phase, just fucking up all sorts of technology. Mercury, thank you. We are so happy you are in your shadow and about to station retrograde, and you just continue to work with technology. I love it. And we'll be getting all into that. So let's talk through the week. Again, I'm not going to get into specific transits in this one because it is such a big show with the 3 readings that we're going to be doing. But I do want to let you know and let everybody know where we're at, what's going to be happening. So 18th, which is today, we don't have any direct aspects. Yay. the eclipse is enough, right? So the eclipse is actually going to be happening very late at night on the 19th. I am in Central Time Zone. So if you are in another time zone, particularly Eastern or later, it's actually going to happen on the 20th. So depending upon your location, it will be either very late at night on the 19th or very early morning on the 20th. And that is going to be a hybrid solar eclipse in Aries. Then on 20th is the start of Taurus season. That is when the sun ingresses into the sign of Taurus. And as soon as the sun does that, we're talking snappy fucking quick. That Pluto square, sun square Pluto in Aquarius is going to happen. And just a quick highlight, what that energy could really feel like is kind of like putting a spotlight or a flashlight on the issues that are yet unresolved, conflicts that are yet unresolved from all of this opening up that we've been doing through getting into this eclipse and the changes that have been happening with outer planets, particularly like Pluto and Saturn. Then on the 21st, we have Mercury retrograde. So it's like there's no breath, there's no breathing during this time. It is I'm getting this image. I just saw the TikTok of the Ferrari roller coaster. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. There's like little clips and videos. That Ferrari roller coaster reminds me of what's happening right now, where you're like sitting in a roller coaster. First of all, I love roller coasters. Have never been on a roller coaster that requires goggles. I'm very excited. I want to go and try this. And you're like getting prepared. You're like checking all your things. They're doing their final checks. It hasn't taken off yet. That's like what today is. Then you have the Aries solar eclipse, Taurus season, Mercury retrograde, Sun Pluto square. Boom. All right in a row. And that's like shoot off. You're going, you can't change anything. You're in it. You're in it. You might as well either scream, put your hands up, enjoy, cry, whatever you need to do. You're moving through it though. And then the roller coaster gets back into ends. We get a breather on the 22nd where we get to jump right back in line. And if we want to go on the roller coaster again, we can go get back in line, but there's no direct aspects on the 22nd, although the moon is obviously always doing things. And then on the 23rd, we have Mars in Cancer sextiling Mercury now in retrograde in Taurus. So this is the first Mercury aspect since he went retrograde on the 21st at 15 degrees, 16 minutes. And this is all about Mercury and Mars together is all about thoughts into actions. And it just depends. This is a sextile. So this is a positive, supportive, how do we put thoughts into actions? So really think about using the water that Mars is in right now to flow with the things that need to be adjusted as you begin to take action. That's going to be a great way to use that energy. And then on the 24th, the Sun and North Node conjunct Taurus at 4 degrees, 1 minute. This is all kind of part of the eclipse. So we kind of had that 18-layer cake going. This is where the topping comes on. You get your extras. I'm a huge sprinkle fan. They pour sprinkles all over it. This is really shining a light on the future. You could get glimmers into your future based on the decisions and actions you're taking with the eclipse. I didn't really get a lot with this, sitting with it, because the eclipse is so loud with me right now. But the term that I did here was, it is abundantly clear. And that really has been what I have been getting and the messages I have been getting, including what this Aries hybrid solar eclipse, I have labeled it. So every moon I get either some sort of download on a phrase or a word that really aligns and helps me to work through and move through each of these different energies. So for this moon, my phrase, can't even get away from it, is the world isn't waiting for you. I'm just going to let that land. We're going to say it one more time for the audio listeners out there. The world is not waiting for you. Period. Dot. And that is wrapped into this message of the Sun and North Node conjunct in Taurus on the 24th with it's abundantly clear. Whatever it is for you, it is abundantly clear. We're kind of over questions at this point. Again, you are in the roller coaster. Now is not the time when the roller coaster is doing its loop-de-loop or is literally going 240 whatever miles an hour on the Ferrari roller coaster. That is not the time to question if you should get off. You're in, you're going for it, right? You're going to have to see it all the way through. It's got to finish. And that should be abundantly clear from the fact that you're literally strapped in. And if you tried to get off in the middle of all of this, that's probably going to harm you, right? So it's whatever it is, it's abundantly clear and you're moving through it.